Hi, it's Anita. I'm going to show you how to make this hat, but let's go over the supplies that you will need. Today I'm going to use Woolies from Lion Brand, which is no affiliation. I purchased this yarn on my own. It is the color Riverside Burgess, a 4-weight, 197 yards. So let's see how many. It says it can make one hat, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use all this, but we'll see. So if you want to make a hat with me, please do so. But you can use any yarn. Oh, and the recommended hook size is 6mm, which is what I'm going to use. I also have a needle to thread in the ends, a stitch marker so I know when I start and finish, and a pair of scissors. These are my little kindergarten scissors, but hey, whatever cuts the yarn, it'll work. But as I was saying, you can use whatever yarn you want to. Typically, I crochet with a 4-weight, and this one is wool because it's Woolies. So if you would like to join me, please do so. Okay, so we're going to do a magic circle, a double loop magic circle, so nothing comes apart. Just gonna, I usually do the size of my hand, but I wrap around the 2 fingers twice. So you have 2 loops, go around, pull up a loop, and make a chain. That is the start of it, but this little chain does not count as a stitch. So then you're going to put the stitch marker around that loop, and that's going to be the top of your first stitch. So here you can use whatever stitch you fancy, but because I'm making my Burst of Kindness hat, I'm going to use the extended single, which is one of my favorites at the moment. And to do an extended, you go in the hole, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. So it's essentially a single crochet, but it's extended. We're going to do that 6 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so if you count it, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one here is 6. Let's watch the magic happen. So here's your tail, and then here's the double magic loops. So you have 2 loops. You're going to pull the tail slightly. The first loop out of these 2 that goes in is the one you're going to pull first. So it was that one in the back. Did you see? So I'm going to pull that one, and that will tighten that other loop. Essentially it's closed, but because I want to make sure it's secure, I'm going to pull the tail, and this one's going to get cinched in too. There it goes. Magic! It's gone. Okay, so for the tail, you can leave it hanging. If you're going to put a pom-pom, you can do that and use this tail to stitch the button that you will place inside the hat so that you can put a pom-pom that has an elastic. Or if you have a snap-on one, you can use that to wrap it around or sew it in. So anyway, long story short, you're gonna go to round 2, and round 2 is basically extended single crochet and then one extended around the post of that single crochet. So you're gonna do increase. I'm gonna move my stitch marker to the last stitch that we just made, and then as for the tail, I'm going to carry it around the stitches to kind of weave it in as I'm doing the stitches. So here's round 2. You're gonna go in between the top of the last the first extended, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that was the first stitch, and as you can see here, here's the post. You're going to do a front post extended single on that post. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2 stitches. So you got 1, and then 1 around the post is 2, and you're going to continue that until you get 12 extended single crochets around. So 1 on top and 1 around the post. One on top and 1 around the post. Oh, sorry guys. Sometimes you have to find it. Okay. And the next stitch and 1 around the post. One on top on the next stitch and 1 around the post. On top of the stitch, around the post. Okay, so that was round 2. You should have 12 stitches. So if you count the bees, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Into row 3, we are going to have 18 stitches at the end of this row, and for row 3 you are going to do an extended single crochet on the previous extended, 1 on top of the post extended single, and then another 1 around the post. So that essentially will give you 3 stitches for each section of the hat. And again, there should be 6 sections, so 6 posts I should say. So let's do it together. Go into the extended single, which is typically kind of like a waistcoat stitch. Say that a few times. And then you're going to do 1 around the top, extended, and 1 around the post. And repeat it again. So here you're just going to go into the previous extended, not on top of it, but in between the stitch, 1 on top, and 1 around the post. You just repeat that until you get to 18 stitches at the end of this row. Make sure you go in the stitch. And I'm still carrying this tail to weave it in as I'm doing the stitches. On top of the stitch, around the post. In the stitch. Oh, sorry guys, keep using my stitch. In the stitch, on top of the stitch, around the post. In the stitch, on top, and around the post. Okay, so that's row 3. You should have 18 stitches, and you can count if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. On to row 4. Oops. I'm just moving my stitch marker. Or we're going to do extended singles inside the extended singles of the previous row, one on top and one around the post. At the end of this row, you should have 24 stitches. So go in 1, extended, in 2, extended, on top for 3, and around the post. Do that again. Around the top and around the post is your 4th stitch. And repeat all the way around until you get 24 stitches. In, in, on top, and around. Okay, so that tail is pretty much weaved in as much as it can go, and just keep going. In, in, on top, and around. One more section. Up and around the posts.
Almost there.
Okay, so you have 24 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Around the post is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Can you see the post now? Or the burst of the posts, or like the burst of the sun?